morning, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started this morning. Good morning. It is great to see you all this morning. We've got a full room. So excited everybody made it in. All right. Once again, good morning. My name is Lauren Cunningham, and I'm a Quality Improvement Specialist with NPC-QIC. And I'm going to review a few logistics before we get started this morning. A special welcome to all of our virtual attendees. If you have questions or comments, feel free to put those in the chat. We'll do our best to reply to those questions and share questions with speakers after the sessions. You can review our program for today using the QR code on the screen. This QR code is also available at the registration table. If you need to connect to Wi-Fi, the network name is FON NPC 23 and a password is not needed. You can also stay connected with us via the eVent app on your phone, and you can view sessions, session speakers, and additional information. So we want to hear from you. So if you have questions, comments that you would like to submit throughout the day, go ahead, scan that QR code right now. It's also available at the registration table. Send any questions to us. We'll answer those Saturday morning. And you'll also find that code in the program. So all sessions in this main room will be recorded and made available after the learning session on our SharePoint site. And as a reminder, the information shared today is confidential, and it is for the learnings of NPC and FON community member centers. So now I'd like to welcome Kiona Allen and Tammy Shepard to kick us off this morning with the welcome and the Parent Ignite. Let's give them a hand.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Kiona Allen. I'm one of the members of the NPC and FON teams from Lurie Children's here in Chicago. And on behalf of the city of Chicago, welcome to an in-person learning session. This is what our weather is like all the time, in case anyone was wondering. So that's probably worth saying. Many of you were here for AHA last year in November, which was different. It's part of my job to sort of open up the day and to tell you what to expect throughout today and tomorrow. And I think we just wanted to talk about what we hope that we'll all get out of this as both local teams or, center teams and as a network as a whole. So our goals for sessions are both as local teams and as an aligned national network. We hope that in the course of the next 2 days, you'll learn more about how to build community with patients, parents, and healthcare professionals, both as NPC and as FON teams, and hopefully partnering together in that work. Applying registry learnings to network activities, including both quality improvement and research. Utilizing the model for improvement, which we'll talk more about, to help guide current NPC and FON improvement projects. And then for individual teams to sort of take back a 90-day action plan between this learning session and the months to come for engaging in network activities moving forward. This is a copy of the agenda for the next, at least for today, for the next several hours, which I'm not sure how well you can see from the back. But there's a whole array of different opportunities that speak specifically to those goals that you will have the opportunity to take advantage of. And we have some really distinguished speakers with a great deal of experience, both families and providers. So I think it's worth saying we're now a network of 70 NPC teams and over 30 FON teams with variable amounts of experience with the learning network concept. And so I think it's worth talking a little bit about what does that mean and what does it do? And why is that the model that we're using for this work? So a learning network is a multi-site collaboration that focuses on improvement science, research, patient and family engagement, and community building, understanding variations in clinical care, and then using all of that to determine best practices and reduce unnecessary variation. It's particularly useful for problems like the ones that we face, where there are so many patients and families living with single ventricle physiology, but each of us only has, a certain number of those at our local centers. And we can use a registry to pull patient data and to broaden clinician experience, but that works best when each small experience adds up to big experience, whether it be through the registry or through the conversations that we have at a session like this. So each individual team becomes part of the longitudinal learning community using direct collaboration and improvement science theory to disseminate the knowledge gained from your local experiences and eventually from the registry itself. NPC is ahead of FON in that regard, obviously. This is all organized based on the Institute for Healthcare Improvement model for improvement science, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But it serves as a forum to share current knowledge and think about future directions. And that's facilitated both through the work that we do every day, but also through big opportunities to come together in a learning session like this. After this, each individual team is able to take back new ideas to their own centers. And in addition to the formal work that we do, experience is able to spread informally throughout the network as centers continue to collaborate with each other, both through the mechanisms that we provide you and through the relationships that we build when we come together like this. Site visits, conference calls, listservs, discussion boards, smaller group projects, and increasingly network-wide rollouts of QI initiatives and research. I think what I've learned from Carol and others is that all teach, all learn is the way that we make this work. Where as a cardiac intensivist, I have a limited amount of patience for how long it takes to build a registry of 20 bajillion Fontan patients and eventually get data from that. But we can do things now. We're already doing it by being here today, by learning from each other, by collaborating, by having patients and families have the opportunity to see how much the providers care about them, to meet other families, to meet other parents. I don't think we always realize how transformative that experience can be. So the takeaways for today are that we are a powerful coalition of patients, families, providers, and allies with a single shared goal across these two networks that are increasingly working together to improve the lives of patients and families living with single ventricle congenital heart disease. This weekend session will provide opportunities to learn more about ways to leverage the expertise of key stakeholders to drive improvement in the outcomes that truly matter to our patients and families. And we know that they do because we've asked them and they're here to tell us about it today. Opportunities for action and collaboration rather than just data collection and reflection. Early opportunities to reduce unnecessary variation and establish clinical practice guidelines, or at least move that direction that can further optimize care. And opportunities to conduct transformative longitudinal research by pooling data to conduct network-wide QI initiatives and clinical research. So we're so excited to have you with us today. I would like to next introduce Tammy Shepard, who's going to speak to us a little bit about her personal experiences, both as a parent and in the network. She's a member of the NPC QIC Community Building and Engagement Committee, as well as a key learning session planning committee member. She's been involved with NPC QIC for over 7 years and works with her home care center, Primary Children's in Utah. Tammy is mom to Jackson and continues to be a valuable voice for patients and families.
I'll say I'm happy to be here after this is over, but until I'm a little bit nervous, but I just want to thank you, Kiona, for that. It's actually such an honor to be here today with all of you. When we were younger, we're often asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Did you know that the #1 answer is a doctor? #2 is a teacher, and #3 is a veterinarian. There was actually a study that was done on this to see how many from elementary who say they want to become a doctor actually become a doctor, and it's 0.8%. That's it. So for all of you who are here who's made it to that 0.8%, I think you deserve a congratulations because that's amazing. A doctor was never my answer.
I never wanted to be a doctor, a teacher, or a vet. I simply just wanted to be a mom. That was always my answer. That's all I wanted to be. And 20 years ago today, on the 27th of this month, so next week, that dream became reality when I gave birth to my oldest son, Jackson. He was born with HLHS, and all of you in here, I hope all of you in here kind of know what that entails. So quickly, my dreams of motherhood and all that came with it changed. I mourned the loss of that picture-perfect dream that I had because instead of play dates at the park, ours were in the hospital. And instead of coaching them on the field playing baseball, where we were being coached how to do feedings and sat monitors and administrating meds. I was thrown into a whole new world of medical jargon, hospitalizations, treatment, and procedures. So basically a doctor, but not really. Suddenly, I was in someone else's dream, enrolled in the School of Hard Knocks for all things heart. Before that, the heart to me was something I dotted my I's with and an organ that I really didn't give that much attention to. I didn't choose to be a heart mom, and I didn't want to be a heart mom. But at some point, I had to own up to the fact that this was my reality. I began to study the heart and everything HLHS because I wanted to know it all, as some of you moms, I'm sure, are the same, and dads. But there was always something new and unknown thrown at us, and this isn't the game that I wanted to play. I always felt that we had the disadvantage. But the more I learned, the more I wanted to help and get involved. I wanted to help other parents and these sweet kids live the best life and easiest life possible. So one day, years ago, I received a letter in the mail asking if I was interested in becoming a parent partner with the high-risk team at Primary Children's Hospital. And I was so excited, I did not hesitate to apply. I was beyond thrilled when I was called for the interview and chosen to be a member of the team. Within a couple months, I was on a plane with them headed to Cincinnati for my first MPC QIC learning session. And I will never forget that experience. I remember being in awe the entire time at the work being done behind the scenes to me, where parents' input was heard and valued. I left the conference full of hope and excitement, and I took that excitement back home with me to our team. It was a neat feeling to be included as we dove into the work. It was so exciting to feel heard. I felt like I had valuable insights to add to the team. My lived experiences as a heart mom was valued and felt as important as the knowledge of the doctors. I felt like what we had gone through in this heart world wasn't just valued, it was necessary if the system was going to improve. You can improve the system for patients if you only include clinicians' perspective. It would be like a baseball team taking the field with a pitcher but no catcher. I'm proud of the work our team has done together. Patient and family members make a huge difference. Getting to work directly with passionate physicians who choose to work with our heart community day in and day out is incredibly rewarding. So, borrowing from baseball, an analogy previously shared by Brett Gamble at a different conference, who said it better than I ever could, I'm going to share it with you. And I believe, let's see, yes. So, I believe it goes hand in hand too with our FON and MPC. So our network previously invited patients and family members onto the field. First, we patient and family members threw the ball around and learned a little bit about the game. We'd seen it from the stands, but it was different from the field. We got equipped with gloves and cleats. We were given a jersey and told that we were part of the team. It felt awkward to everyone for a while. Wasn't our place in the stands watching from the bleachers? Now we were being told to catch the ball headed our way. We were given a bat, shown how to hold it. We were clumsy at first, but encouraged by our team members. We started making contact with the ball. We started sending the ball out into the field. We started sending our teammates around the bases. Now it's become harder and harder to identify who on the team had access to the field first and who used to be in the stands. Now we're all just focused on winning the game. My encouragement to other networks is to invite your parents and patient family members to join the team on the field and give them what they need to actually play. They're going to need coaching, but what they bring is passion because they've been in the seats, they understand, and they've seen the game from a vantage point that many in our network have never seen. And for those networks here today who already have patients and family members on the field, your patient family members belong in your starting lineup. Partnership between clinicians, patients, and family members is truly the only way to hit a home run. So let me close by sharing a quote from the famous Babe Ruth. The way a team plays as a whole determines its success. You may have the greatest bunch of individual stars in the world, but if they don't play together, the club won't be worth a dime. Those words resonate deep with the work here, not just about having outstanding patient-parent partners or brilliant clinicians. It's about how we come together, collaborate, and play together as a team. So to finalize, as we come together as FON and MPCQIC members, let us remember the lessons from baseball and teamwork. By supporting each other and embracing challenges as opportunities, we can hit a grand slam in the care for these single ventricle patients and make a lasting impact in their lives. So I'll ask you, what team are you on? Because let's play ball.